Director of the Railway Museum. We've been pleased to be part of today to celebrate and pay tribute to Sir William McAlpine, a great in railway heritage. He achieved so much to help railway heritage, including founding chairman of the Railway Heritage Trust. Without Bill, we wouldn't have Flying Scotsman with us today. Also today, I would like to thank the partners to make the memorial run we've done today possible. Network Rail for ensuring a smooth path. I'm sure everyone who was on the train this morning were pleased at how fast we went through Doncaster. DB Cargo for organising Flying Scotsman and operating today for us. LNER, who's done so much to organise the logistics to make this work. Rail Tours for promoting it so well and selling out the train. The Scottish Rail Preservation Society for the carriages, which were beautiful. And Riley's for their amazing role as custodians of the locomotive. The partners coming together for this memorial run have enabled us to raise enough money to invest in a trainee engineer to work on the Flying Scotsman in Sir William's name. The museum's future is ensuring we encourage young people to see engineering as an opportunity of future careers on the railway. We have the opportunity to tell the stories of the railway history as we do today, but also to tell the stories about the present railways and into the future to inspire those next generation of engineers. And on that note, I would like to introduce you to Hans-Georg Werner, who's Chief Executive of DB Cargo. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that introduction. As Judith already mentioned, my name is Hans-Georg Werner, and I'm the CEO of DB Cargo UK, as well as being the biggest mover of rail freight in the UK. We also have the pleasure of operating a number of special trains and charter services. These include, amongst others, the magnificent Royal Train and the iconic Flying Scotsman, which brought many of us here today. I'm sure you will agree there is something very special about sitting aboard the Scotsman, watching the steam and the scenery whiz by. Having joined the service at Peterborough today, I can certainly see what attracted Sir William to strike up such a special relationship with this magnificent steam engine. For as we have heard, it was Sir William McAlpine who dug deep to bring this beautiful locomotive back to England from the US in 1973. For this, the UK rail industry should be eternally grateful. But as we know, Sir William's dedication and contribution to heritage rail went far beyond his association with just the Flying Scotsman. And it was for this reason that my predecessors, when the company was known as EWS, agreed to name one of our Class 60 trains after Sir William. Locomotive 60008, a real cart horse of a diesel engine, was a regular feature on the rail network in the 90s and 2000s, before finally being brought to rest recently at our Toton depot down in Nottinghamshire. So when Sir Peter asked if we would consider switching the nameplates to a new loco to keep his memory at the forefront of people's mind, we were happy to help. By the way, this is a new nameplate, the old one wasn't that beautiful anymore. So going forward, our Class 90 locomotive, 90028, will carry the name of Sir William McAlpine instead. The fact it is transferring from diesel to an electric locomotive is very fitting and I believe symbolic of how Sir William's contribution has stood the test of time. I'm delighted that Sir William's name will be a regular sighting on the East Coast Main Line, as this particular Class 90 will go straight into service on its arrival back into King's Cross. The locomotive is to be used by LNER to haul passenger services between London and the north. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Hans. My name's David Horn. I'm the Managing Director of LNER. We're delighted to be part of today and in terms of what is to come, as this locomotive will be entering service, working our trains next week and in the weeks ahead. We're delighted to be able to do that, and when you're travelling up and down the East Coast Main Line in the weeks to come, we hope you can keep an eye out for it and indeed have the chance to travel behind it. One of the things I'd particularly like to remember Sir William for today is his work with the Railway Heritage Trust, which is an organisation that works with the train companies and Network Rail, improving the stations and other structures on the rail network. And Sir William was there from the beginning in 1985, and he chaired the organisation up until the year when he passed away. He was a real person who championed the initiative of people who were improving and doing up old stations. He would lobby for support, and he would generally use his energy to champion us all as we tried to improve these stations. I had the fantastic privilege of joining Bill for a day a number of years ago. We were doing up Nottingham Station, and he very kindly came and unveiled a war memorial for us at one station, and we gradually did a tour, ended up in Nottingham, and it was a delight to show Bill some of the features that we were bringing to life with the Railway Heritage Trust. But one thing that really struck me was hearing his deep knowledge and his detailed knowledge of the station and the various bits of architecture that we were working on. He did an interview with the Times a number of years ago, and there's a quote in this interview which I think is very appropriate and sums up really why Bill was so valuable as a friend to the railway. He said, "I'm very bad at saying no to anything. And when you're trying to run a railway, those are the sorts of friends you need." It's great to be part of today.
So thank you, David. My name is Peter Hendy. I'm the Chairman of Network Rail. I do a lot of railway history. I used to be the proprietor of the world's oldest underground railway, and now I'm a custodian of the world's oldest railway. It's a delight to be here and to be able to celebrate Bill's life. Bill was a railwayman. He built railways, and the people who build and maintain railways are railwaymen and women just as much as those who operate them are. And clearly he understood the place of the railway in our nation, its economic and social progress and its place in the landscape. That he was a champion of the magnificent buildings of our railways, manifested by chairing the RHT, was to be entirely expected. Andy Savage told me he was a great chairman, always there to help and encourage, but never to get in the way. Sadly for the two organisations I chair, I'm nothing like that. And I did manage to get that train on the fast lines. It seemed much more appropriate to me to go through Doncaster at 17 and 15. And of course, as has been said, his towering achievement was to rescue Flying Scotsman when it really was in peril, several thousand miles away and saddled with debt, and return it to the country it belongs in and restored to working order. And that's led, as it should have done, to her being a national asset, part of our rich railway heritage, and alive and well, as you've seen today, on the national railway system. One of my former colleagues at TfL said to me once that your job in life, given one of these institutions, is to take it, look after it for a bit, and hand it on if you can, better than when you found it. With Flying Scotsman, as with so much else, Bill fulfilled that adage in an exceptional way. What he's done for the railway and for railway history is memorable and permanent, and his name on this locomotive will be the manifestation of that. Thank you for listening, and it's now my huge pleasure to introduce Lady Julie McAlpine to you. Julie.
Right, I can't really add anything. I think you've all said beautiful things about my beautiful Bill. When I first met Bill, I would be driving around and he was always constantly on the telephone because there was a crisis and the Scotsman had to be saved again because the chap who owned her had gone bust. And Bill, I can hear him now phoning the NRM and saying, right, it's your turn, you've got to have it now, and she needs to be safe and secure for the nation. And for days and days he was on that phone trying to broker a deal between the lawyers and the NRM. Then the rest is history, the lawyers got greedy and that was the end of that thing. But it happened, she's here, she's safe, and the one thing Bill always regretted was, and he didn't regret much in life, he wasn't very good at regretting, but he did regret ever letting her go. So he was so happy that suddenly she was safe again here, and she would be looked after. And he had her for 23 years, so a bit like a wife, long marriage. And I don't think he ever loved anything the way he loved that engine. But, so, thank you for saying lovely things about him. He was a very, very special man. We won't see anyone like him again, ever, I don't think. Nothing else. Let's just name this. What we have here is Bill's son and Bill's grandson, and I think they're much more suited to be unveiling this nameplate than me, okay? And I forgot to say thank you to the NRM for actually deciding that we would do this. Over the years, I've had a lot of aggro with the NRM about the way Bill's memory has been treated. Today, they have done him proud, and I think, you know, all the regrets are sort of forgotten. So, you two, come and do.
For us, we'll just go into the Lady McAlpine, if you would. Just like that, see? Lady McAlpine, would you just lean on the barrier for us? Just come a little bit forward. Maybe just put your arms out for us. That's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the biscuits.
We will now be removing the loco out because it will be hauling the train back down to London. So,
and the Scotsman's outside.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As was just said, the next part of today is we're going to move Sir William McAlpine out into the museum's North Yard, position it next to Flying Scotsman. We haven't got long because, as has been said, this is hauling the train back to London. So if you want to see the two locomotives together, if you'd like to start making your way out into the car park, and we do need to clear this area fairly quickly so we can move the locomotives. So thank you very much.